Hey, I'm Kerry Grinkmeyer. I'm with Best of Us Investors. I'm a retired financial advisor, and for the past year, I've been pretty much preaching to my tribe, the Best of Us Investors, that the investments you should be in are the investments that are going to change the way you live. And those are the best investments who are taking advantage of technology and moving into the future. They are in order of no real order: Amazon, Google, Microsoft, Apple, Facebook, and Tesla. Those are the big six. I have replaced IBM, which was part of the big six, with Tesla. These are the people in my mind who own the data, big data. They're going to be the people that are going to hold what I think is the most undervalued asset in currently held, and that's big data. I don't think most investors have realized the effects that big data is going to have on our future, and therefore they're undervaluing it. That's why those six stocks prices just keep going up. They also control technology, which is making them disruptors. They are leaders in machine learning, in cloud computing. They are going to lead the way in healthcare, education, and entertainment, e-commerce, and transportation. They're going to change the way you live. And as they change the way you live, you're going to see their prices just keep going up, much as they have for the last probably 10 years. They are the ones who are benefiting from the money that is being put into our economy, and more than likely will continue to be put into our economy, and they will be the ones whose prices will continue to climb. So you need to own them. You need to own them for all those reasons. Are there other companies that you may want to own as well? Yeah, I also own Square. I also will probably buy some chip companies that are leaders in artificial intelligence. But right now, I'm kind of waiting for the dust to settle with the election, the pandemic, the vaccine, the debt situation, because I think there is going to be a reset in the market come the first of the year. So those are my big six: Amazon, Google, Microsoft, Apple, Facebook, and Tesla. I will continue to own them for the foreseeable future. Then the thing that I think that is really going to present another opportunity is real estate. We have some things going on in real estate that haven't happened before. I did an interview with Jim Rogers, noted billionaire genius investor, who made the statement, you need to find a undervalued asset that nobody's paying a whole lot of attention to, and then when change occurs, that the asset will become properly valued. Well, what is that? That's real estate. Wait a second. Real estate's at all-time highs. Prices are at all-time highs. Well, you got to recognize there's something going on that is going to change the real estate landscape. The first part of that going on is a migration, and that's a migration away from the blue states to the red states. What am I talking about? I'm talking about our East Coast, northern East Coast, and our West Coast. These are the states that are expensive to live in. The prices of homes are extremely high. The cost of transportation is extremely high. The taxes are extremely high. And now the change is the pandemic. The coronavirus has made it change the way we live. The biggest change is going to be we don't need to live where we work. We can live where we want to live, where we want to educate our children, where we want to have our family grow up. Maybe we want to go back to where we grew up. And that's the red states. That's Alabama. That's the where I live. That's the center of the United States. In my case, the center of the Southeast. The asset here of real estate is much cheaper than the asset real estate in the blue states. So we have an undervalued asset. We have a population that is moving from the blue states to the red states, and the value of those assets are lower, which presents an opportunity for investors. That opportunity is going to take the form of owning real estate and owning it in a number of different ways. The other thing that is going to happen relative to real estate is, as a result of the pandemic, many countries, including the United States, but many less stable countries, have been printing an enormous amount of their currency to keep their economy going. They are putting their currency in jeopardy. So much as we have seen all since probably the late 90s, where the currencies got unstable in foreign countries, everything from China to the South America, and Central America, we saw wealthy people, billionaires, millionaires, taking their money and moving it into the United States and buying real estate. One of the most sought out areas was that of southern Florida. Particularly in those people coming from South America would come to southern Florida and buy a condominium in a high rise and never furnish it and never rent it, just to park their capital in an appreciating asset. And they have done that for years. Now, it's not the billionaires, it's the millionaires, and it's the wealthy people of these countries who are saying, I need to get involved in that. So even in your city, there are companies who are forming REITs and hedge funds to help these people move their money into your community, into rental property. So there are companies that have started, and there are real estate agents who are servicing those companies in providing them real estate that they can turn into rental property for foreigners and for, in the future, for people living in blue states who need to come up with a income source for their retirement income. Right now, they can only get about 5% on it. So I am going to form a company called Best of Us Homes to help facilitate this whole process. So, okay, we have these companies now. How can we, though, through technology, eliminate the middleman that brings the investors to the real estate in your community? How can we eliminate them? Well, what we can do is we can use this YouTube channel to speak directly to real estate agents to train them so that they can become knowledgeable of how this system works and actually be the person who identifies the property in the community and then makes it available to the local investors, or maybe even the foreign investors. So what we have to do is learn, first of all, what are the prime areas? What are the prime areas of your community where rental property is advantageous and it's also profitable? Well, you can do that through your MLS, and I will be setting up a class to teach you exactly how to do that through your MLS, and then also identify who the current investors are who are seeking those properties. Because once you learn how to do it, you can actually become a conduit for those investors. In many cases, they're outside your city. In some cases, they're in your city. But they're buying, in the past 90 days, they've bought 15, 20 properties for cash, not for them, but for investors who are using them to find the properties in your community. Where our end objective is to take that investment company out of the picture and put you in direct contact with the investor, so the investor gets a better package and you get a better package, in that you make more money by not having to work through the current establishment of REITs and hedge funds who are driving all this. But as a real estate agent, you have to know how to do this. You have to have the software that you can go in and plug in the numbers. This is the sale price. This is the cap rate that the investor needs to get off of this to make it a good investment. This is the number you need to put in for vacancies. This is the number you need to put in for insurance, for taxes, and come down and say, present to your investor, this is what this house looks like. You also need to be in contact with a contractor if it's a flip, that you can walk in and say, what is it going to cost me to make this house rentable? So you're going to become, as a real estate agent, the person who puts this whole thing together. Initially, you're going to work with the investors that are in place, but eventually, through this channel, who is going to speak to investors in your community, in Brazil, in Russia, in wherever, to say, hey, we have put together a network of real estate agents around the United States who can deal directly with you and provide you with everything you need to invest in U.S. rental property. Now, they're going to want to invest one of two ways. They're going to want to bring you their $500,000 and have you buy them 3 homes and pay cash for them and create income. But some people don't want income. They want appreciation and they want tax deduction. So in those cases, they're going to leverage up. They're going to take a mortgage out. They're going to actually put that thing where it doesn't make money, but it does appreciate, and they can depreciate it on their tax return, and they can write off the interest and expense on their tax return. So you got 2 different kind of investors. I need to teach you how to do this so that you can get off that treadmill you're on now as a real estate agent of go chase listings, go drive buyers around, and get in a position where what you're doing is identifying real estate for a backlog of investors that we're bringing to you so that you can facilitate the purchase of that property and then put them in touch with a management company to make it happen. So how are we going to do this? The first step is for me to talk to you personally, and that is I'm going to do a Zoom call with up to 50 of you. The first 50 of you that come to Best of Us Investors and sign up with your name and your email address, and then I'm going to send you a copy of our morning letter, and on that morning letter, it's going to give you a link to our Discord. At the Discord, you're going to find a membership area. You go in there and you sign up with your name, your city, the information we need to know that you're an active real estate agent. In order to keep the wannabes out, I'm going to charge you $30 for that first 50 to be on a video call, a Zoom call, where I'm going to explain this in more detail, and you're going to have the opportunity to ask questions and get answers on exactly how this is going to work, what it's going to cost you, and how we're going to create an association that works for everybody involved. That's going to be, again, sign up at bestofus.investors.com, go to the Discord, go to the membership, $30, a one-time charge, and you'll be invited to have a seat at the Zoom meeting. Now, the other side of this is, what if you're not a real estate agent, but you're an investor and you want to take your $500,000 in savings that you have in a CD that's paying you 5% and move it up to maybe 6%, maybe 8% in your community. And how do you get in touch with the real estate agent that I'm training for you? That's going to be up to you to continue to watch these videos. And then at some point, I'm going to do a Zoom call with you. When I can tell you I've got the network in place to bring you in a position where you can make direct investment in your community, or if you're from Brazil or Venezuela or China, and you want to buy something in Birmingham, how you can contact with a realtor who can put you in the properties that you want to fulfill your need for a real estate investment. So that's the business that I'm putting together. Best of S Homes, to take advantage of what is about to change relative to the real estate industry. We've got people who want to move their money out of their country. We have people who want to move their money out of CDs or low returning bonds and want to take advantage of the change in real estate that is about to happen. The other thing that is going to happen is the forbearance is going to go off, the foreclosure is going to go off, and we're going to have a lot of houses come to market that are going to be at fire sale prices. And you need to be in a position, whether you're an investor or you're a real estate agent, to take advantage of what's going to happen. So again, a Zoom meeting for 50 of you. You know where to go and how to make it happen. It's now, the ball is in your court.